Welcome to Malicious Compliance. Hungry? Good, because we got two stories of malicious food compliance. Opie's dad wanted his onion rings extra crispy. This story is from Reddit user Zealous Adil Pop 189. Burnt onion rings. We all can agree that onion rings should be crispy. There is not much worse than soggy, floppy, undercooked onion rings. Agreed. My dad had had enough of his subpar onion rings. He decided to order his onion rings burnt. His reasoning was that no respectable restaurant would actually burn the onion rings. Instead, they would pull them out at the last moment, leaving golden, crispy, delightfully perfect onion rings. This worked every time, until it didn't. Cue the restaurant's malicious compliance. My dad did his usual order of burnt onion rings. He sat down and awaited his perfect order, congratulating himself on subverting the system when the waiter brought out his plate of black charred burnt onion rings. But he couldn't send them back. It was exactly what he ordered. We all stared at the plate silently until my dad broke the silence, laughing at his defeat. The next time he went to the restaurant, he smiled a sheepish smile and ordered his onion rings simply extra crispy. Got it, sir. We'll burn your onion rings, sir. Props to Opie's dad though for laughing at himself and admitting defeat. I think other people would have reacted differently to that one. Next up, we have Opie ordering his burger with queso on it. This post was from Reddit user Biohazard186. Well, she did exactly as I asked. Honestly, the compliance probably wasn't malicious. But I don't know of a better sub for the story, and I finally have one I can tell, so I'm going for it. So my job has me traveling to nearby cities for property appraisal. My team and I stay in a particular city for a couple of weeks and then move on until we come back around 2 years later. A lot of these cities are tiny, think populations less than 5,000. Because these towns are so small, lunch options are few, and so we end up picking one we like and sticking to it. We joke about what the staff might think, a group of strangers suddenly visiting the place every day like clockwork for a few weeks and then disappearing never to be seen again. They should start wearing suits and sunglasses, pretending to be men in black. That would rile them up. The restaurant in the city we're about to leave, a little Mexican place, has a surprisingly diverse menu, so I've been able to try something different every time we've visited. One of their items I've gotten a few times, a cheeseburger with chopped grilled veggies and bacon on it. From my coworkers' experience, the cook staff is pretty open to customizing the order, so since this is the last time I'll get to eat their food, I decided I'd change it up a little and have them put some of their really good queso on the burger. So the waitress, a middle-aged Mexican woman, comes to take our order. Me. I'd like the Mexi burger, please. And could you put some queso on it, please? The waitress asks, queso? She asks, raising an eyebrow at me. I replied, yes, please. That queso is good. She says okay, takes our menus, and goes to enter our order. A few minutes go by, and another, much younger waitress comes back to our table to get clarification. She asks, did you want the queso on your burger or did you want it on the side? Me thinking for a second, on the burger. She says okay and hurries off to the kitchen. A few more minutes pass and the first waitress puts my plate in front of me and I instantly start laughing. Yo, she thought I wanted a smothered burger. I couldn't even be mad. I guess I should have made sure they understood I wanted them to use the queso as a condiment. And while it didn't come out quite like I wanted, the burger did taste good with the queso. And for you curious people out there, OP did post a photo of the burger. Here it is. Now, if you ask me, I'd say this is a win. Also, I'd like to add that there's actually a Reddit for these called Malicious Compliance. If you're interested, go give them a visit. Next up, OP calls his customer bluff to sue. This story was from Reddit user Neon Chimp. Nope, get your lawyer. So, I work at a place that rents storage units and we have a customer who is a crusty old bitch. Wants to complain about everything. In fact, he complained about crap that straight up wasn't true. And when presented with a printout of evidence he was lying, he called us a bunch of sons of bitches and left. Anywho, today he came in for a payment, and when I gave him his total, he became belligerent, stating that he always paid a certain dollar amount and will not pay a cent more. Now, unfortunately, we had to raise prices back in January. It sucks, but I'm not the owner, just a desk monkey, so I don't ask questions. I did, however, personally fold and stuff all the envelopes with the notice we had to increase our rent, so I know he got it. This guy's never paid the increased rate and is falling behind. Today I was blessed with the holiest of bitchiness. I will be speaking to a lawyer about... Oh wait, he's an old man, right? I will be speaking to a lawyer about this. Which frankly is music to my ears. Every time he wanted to complain, I responded, "You have threatened legal action. I will only communicate with you through our attorneys." After a few times of this, I think he realized he effed up, but I held firm and annotated in the notes his threat and my refusal to help. Edit. Guess who called up less than an hour later, all apologetic, wanting to make a payment. Took the payment with a shit-eating grin. Hopefully he won't pull that shit anymore. He probably shat his pants when he realized threatening legal action was gonna end up costing more. Now, for our last story, a lady's negligence nearly cost her company one of their top clients. This story is from Reddit user #ThatOneAuthor. If you don't like it, you can leave. Alright then. This is my stepdad's story, not mine. Second-hand story. Also, English isn't my first language, so please nitpick my grammar. I will do exactly just that. My dad works for an employee-owned civil construction company. They make water processing plants among other public utility buildings. Contracts can range from $10 to $50 million and more after expenses. They spend the vast majority of said budget on materials, again, millions of dollars. One company they get parts from is their main supplier of pipes and plumbing doohickeys. Doohickeys. It's been a while since I heard that. They spend about a third of their budget with them. Again, specialty in water treatment plants. He has even received awards for being one of their top 5 customers. 2 years ago, their award was a fire hydrant cookie jar, which he found hilarious. This particular job was on the East Coast in a state where my dad has yet to work. As such, he goes to the office personally to meet these people. On principle, mind you. He's just the type of guy. He meets the staff, or most of them. What he didn't know was that one lady was out that day, her day off. Eventually, the budget has been worked out and the structural base has been mostly completed. So my dad calls the suppliers to place his order. And do you know exactly who gets it? Yep, the one lady he didn't get to meet. The conversation goes a bit like this. OP's dad. Hello, this is OP's dad. I need to order some parts. The lady replies, of course, do you have some account with us? Dad says, yes, this construction company. Lady types a bit. I'm sorry, but I don't see an account for this construction company. Dad, yes we do. Could you please check again? Lady, I'm afraid we don't have an account for this construction company. Now, it is important to note that A, my dad takes no shit, and he knows she didn't recheck because he couldn't hear her rather loud keyboard typing. And B, to create an account requires a credit history check which can take 5 to 10 business days to get done. This company, my dad included, runs a tight ship, so this is entirely unacceptable. So my dad says, look, can I speak with the owner? I met him yesterday and I would like to clear this up quickly. The lady replies, I'm afraid the owner is unavailable right now. I could create an account for you if you'd like. Dad says, look, I need to buy $70,000 of prep materials and I need them by next week. Please try again to find our account. This construction company is one of your top clients, and if you ask me to create a new account, I will go elsewhere. The lady, still not trying again, says, I apologize for the inconvenience. If you feel that you could get better service elsewhere, you're free to do so.
That's a wrong move. You don't push away customers like that, lady. Especially not one of your top customers.
My dad immediately hangs up, fuming. It took 2 more days and $10,000 more, but he got the parts on time. He then came into the office a week later, passed by the front desk and knocked on the owner's door. Sir, you can't be back here. Wouldn't you know it, it was the lady from before. My dad just waited, and when owner opened the door, he greets dad like an old friend. After explaining the situation, the owner immediately called the lady in, calmly berated her, and showed her exactly how to find this construction company in the future. My dad isn't someone to get people fired. Better to humiliate them into competence.
I like that. Humiliating people into competence. I just hope the lady here doesn't hold a grudge after all this.
The owner then called corporate, who authorized a 10% discount on piping as an apology. This contract had a piping budget of $9 million. That discount went straight into profits. As a stockholder, that goes to my dad's pockets as well. He's never had a problem before, nor since. TLDR, dad saves a lot of money. Alright, so let me do a little bit of a calculation here. So 10% of $9 million. That means this mistake cost that company $900,000. And that's just for one project. I wonder if this was like a perpetual discount. Hopefully not. Lady, eat your heart out. And that's all for today's story. Links to the original post are down in the description below. Now, if you have your own story, send it over to iveeffedup@gmail.com. Like the story? Consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting that bell icon. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!